Here's another example. You have two vectors A and B. Magnitude of A is 10, the direction 70 degrees. Magnitude of B is 20, direction 160 degrees. And the goal again is to find R. And so I'm going to just go step by step. I'm just going to directly write what we need to find. So AX is 10 cosine 70. BX is 20 cosine 160. So here you would expect BX to be negative because it's on the negative x-axis. Similarly, AY is 10 sine 70 and BY is 20 sine 160. Let's find out what those are. 10 cosine 70, 3.42. 10 sine 70, 9.40, both positive as expected. 20 cosine 160, negative 18.79 as expected because negative x-axis. PY 6.84, positive as expected. So from here we get Rx as AX plus BX, 3.42 plus negative 18.79. So now we get Rx to be negative, meaning that when I draw this parallelogram, R is going to end up in quadrant 2, and that's why Rx is negative. Ry is AY plus BY, is 9.40 plus 6.84 is 16.24, positive. So if you have x component going to the left and y going top, it means R is going to be in quadrant 2. Then our last step, the magnitude is going to be Rx squared plus Ry squared in the root. So square root of negative 15.37 squared. That's not going to work. Square root. Now, because I'm going to square this number, it's going to be positive. So I can just take the square of the positive version of it. That's only for the length, and that's because it's being squared. When you square a negative number, it becomes positive. So this is 22.36. And then the angle is tan inverse of Ry over Rx, which becomes tan inverse of 16.24 divided by, here you have to include the negative. Now, negative 46.58 degrees. Now here we have to do a little bit of work. Now what does this angle really mean when I draw the diagram? Now based on Rx and Ry, I know that the sum of my vector is in the second quadrant, which means if I complete this parallelogram, then the sum is going to be in the second quadrant, and that's my angle. Now this angle is going to be more than 90 degrees, but the calculator is giving me negative 46.58. So how do I translate this information into the correct form? How we do that is, the calculator is always going to give you answers between negative 90 and positive 90. So you have to sort of make sense of what's going on. Negative 46.58 degree in this case means that it's giving you this angle. It's 46.58. So to find this angle, you're going to have to do 180 minus 46.58 degrees. So your value for the direction of R is going to be 180 minus 46.58. It's 133.42 degrees. Which now makes sense because That's how the angle is measured from the positive x-axis. So if you have negative answers, you're gonna have to adjust based on what quadrant your result is in. So if it's in quadrant 2, you subtract from 180. If it's in quadrant 3, yeah, if this is say alpha, then this full angle is going to be 180 plus alpha. If it's in quadrant 4, then this angle is going to be 360 minus alpha. So again, you don't have to remember these, just by looking at these values, you will know what quadrant they are in. And once you know what quadrant they are in, you draw a picture and you're trying to figure out this unknown angle. So here it's going to be 180 minus whatever's here, then it's 180 plus whatever's here, and in this case it's going to be 360, the full circle, minus this alpha, whatever your value is goes in here. So right here it's important to look at this and draw the conclusion that this is in quadrant 2. Okay, so in general, quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. This is x positive, y positive, x negative, y positive, x negative, y negative, x positive, y negative. So that's it. That's the end of the material for this week. You will see that there are 2 worksheets for vector material, and then there are 2 exam review sheets. As mentioned in the instruction for the finals, you can bring your solution to these 4 worksheets. The 2 for the vectors and 2 for exam review, and you can use them as reference for your final exam. And with your final exam, you're going to hand in the actual physical copies of your worksheet for this week. You still have to submit the scanned version online, and the ones that you hand in later, I'm going to look at them while I grade your exam. Okay, that's it.